Hi everybody. This is Hip Fitness, not because it is in any way exceptionally cool or spectacular, but because I need a new hip. And if you have done high intensity exercise for a few decades and like running, then this might be for you. Because in your 20s you think you're invincible. And in your 30s you start to think there might be some long-term repercussions of this kind of high intensity workout. In your 40s you're like, well, screw it, because I'm already I've done enough damage. And in your mid-50s, it's like, well, I guess I got to deal with this now. So in my mid-20s, I did a lot of class instruction, taught high-impact fitness classes, and did some bodybuilding. In my mid-30s, I continued with all that high-intensity, high-impact aerobic stuff, and also started running, because when my kids were little, that was the easiest thing to do in the wee hours of the morning when they were still sleeping. And in my 40s, I really got into running, really ramped it up, maybe as much as 40 miles a week for most of that decade. In my 50s and in my later 40s, it was a combination of a pretty heavy running schedule. And for any of you that know the Beachbody programs, Asylum Volume 1, which is very aptly named because this is about as crazy as you get. And of course, very high plyometric pounding, tough on the joints, but boy, great workout. So here I am on the cusp of my 54th birthday, and I'll post the images of my right hip, which is the good one, and my left hip, which is the bad one. And talk to you a little bit about how I came to know that it's time to replace it. And I knew I had degenerative arthritis on the left side. That was not a surprise. I guess as it got bad faster, that was the surprise. And how do you know? Because I don't know about you, but when I run, I don't really feel pain. It's not until afterwards that my joints or my muscles or my broken toenails or all that other stuff kick in. When you have a hip that needs to be replaced, you pretty much feel it the whole run. And it makes sleeping nearly impossible. So probably what tipped it off for me, I had plenty of orthopedics saying I needed a hip replacement, but what tipped it off for me was the problems I had sleeping. So over-the-counter medications I'm not a big fan of, so it wasn't a surprise that I wasn't taking them to control pain. But the sleep, so being up maybe every 2 or 3 hours to kind of walk around and reset your hip, that's when I kind of knew it was time. So I'll talk to you about the different things I do to work out. It's a pretty high intensity. Unfortunately, I've been scaling that back because I can't run as fast or as far. So going from maybe an 8.5-minute mile to barely 10, but it is what it is. So I'll keep running until the day I have my surgery, and I'll take you with me. So I'm planning on posting through the surgery, well, not through the surgery, that would be kind of gross, but through the pipeline going into surgery and how I adjust my workouts and frankly, how I come out of it. The one thing I do know, and my orthopedic has been really adamant about, and I'm gonna take his word for it because he's the doctor. The first 12 weeks post-surgery are the most critical. So I had this mental picture that I was gonna power through them. I'd be doing upper body the minute I'm coming out of the anesthetic so that I can maintain my fitness level. He was pretty clear that that's not going to happen. He's going to guide me through the fitness program for my first 12 weeks because those are the most critical weeks for the bone to pretty much accept the implant. And if you screw that up, you screw it up for your whole life. And I'm not going to do that. I can be patient for 12 weeks before I kick things back up to running in the asylum again. So for those first 2 weeks, I'll take the advice of the guy that does the surgeries on the Philadelphia Eagles, who, by the way, are the Super Bowl champions. Just wanted to throw that in there. So I'll take his advice for the first 12 weeks post-op, and then it's all on me. I did personal training for a lot of years, and now it's time to train myself back from basically the very beginning. So I figure for those 12 weeks while I'm recovering, my fitness level is going to slip. And that's okay, because over the past years, my fitness level has shifted as I've favored my right side. So if you're a runner that doesn't want to give it up, I get it. And I'll talk you through what I know. If you're a fitness enthusiast who doesn't acknowledge pain and just powers through, I get that. And I'll talk you through what I know. And if you're a brand new beginner that's intimidated by crazy people who do the asylum or run 40 miles a week, there's no wrong answer. The only bad workout is the one you don't do. So if you want to pick a place to jump in, I'm going to be in a hospital bed and using a walker, so you can come back up with me. Regardless, this is hip running and day one. Thanks, everybody.